It's Thursday night football in the 27-6A district as the Smithson Valley Rangers host district newcomer South San on a cool and crisp 65-degree night from Ranger Stadium. On the Rangers Network, I'm Brant Freeman alongside Roland Ruiz. We are moments away from kickoff as these two meet for the first time since 2001. And Roland, the Rangers are 4 games into their season and boast an impressive 3-1 record, while South San, this is the Bobcats season opener. Just another bizarre circumstance in what has been a bizarre 2020.
And that's putting it mildly. I was thinking about that earlier, how we're just days away from Halloween, and there's actually a school that's about to get their first game of the season started. Of course, we're going later in the season with a lot of these, but I'm sure an abbreviated season for South San this year.
Now, the Bobcats won the toss, electing to defer, so we'll see the Rangers on offense first, and the kickoff from Jason Juarez. We are underway on the return by Noah Flores for Smithson Valley. Rangers will start at around their own 30. Tonight, the Rangers are playing for the second win in a row after piecing together an impressive 34-7 win over Clemens last week, while South San, despite not playing a game yet this season, is trying to even up its district record, as last week the Bobcats had to forfeit their game against Judson as South San was not yet cleared to play a game. Here's Jalen Nutt at the controls for Smithson Valley's offense. First play is a handoff. Big run down the sidelines for the Rangers. Good opening play for Travis McCracken, the junior running back, has it for more than 20 yards and first down.
McCracken thus far, excluding that carry, 28 carries thus far on the year for 123 yards, and he's got a pair of touchdowns. Nice job by the offensive lineman on the near side of the field to clear the way for him.
It's a gain of 31 yards from McCracken. Scored his second touchdown of the season last week in the win over the Buffaloes. What a night it was for the quarterback, Jalen Nutt. 4 rushing touchdowns, a season high for Nutt. Little bubble screen caught by Maverick Freeland. Good blocks along the near sideline, and the Rangers have another first down on a gain of 10.
Absolutely. Tip of the SV cap to Will Ford, who threw a very instrumental block down there to get Freeland loose.
Just 4 completions last week for Nutt as a thrower. All 4 went to Maverick Freeland. A lot of ball control for the Rangers last week in the win over the Buffaloes. They'll say that was short of the first down, a gain of 9. Here's a draw for Gabe Hoskins, and that's good for the first down for Smithson Valley.
Absolutely. You were mentioning Jalen Nutt's performance against Clemens last week. It was the talk of all of Bulverde and Spring Branch, the job that he did running the football, and, of course, those 4 big touchdowns in the game.
That win for the Rangers over Clemens, Smithson Valley's first over the Buffaloes since 2016, snapping a 3-game losing streak in the series. Rangers got off to a good start last Friday against Clemens as Coach Hill visits with Jalen Nutt as quarterback on the sidelines. Of course, the Rangers recovered a fumble on the opening kickoff, scored on the 3rd play of the game, en route to that 34-7 win in Schertz. First down throw is high, but caught by the tight end, and it's inside the 15 for Dylan Damel. The catch, and Jalen Nutt so far tonight throwing the football 2 for 2.
Stop made on the play by South San's Eli Vasquez. We're going to see a lot of players for South San going both ways tonight on both sides of the football.
So for Smithson Valley coming up, the 5th play of the drive started at their own 30 and marched their way down to the 15. On second down, here's a run for Avery. And Avery stacked up short of the 10-yard line. Justin Avery with the carry there for the Rangers, tackled by Richard Lopez, the Bobcats' top returning tackler from a year ago. And the Rangers have goal to go inside the 10.
Tough running there for Justin Avery right in the middle of that South San defensive line. But Rangers putting something together here on their opening offensive drive of the night.
Set inside the 10, just outside the 10-yard line. Not quite goal to go yet for Nutt and the offense. An offense averaging more than 33 points a game. A flag before this snap, though. Offside's a call against South San. The Bobcats last year were flagged 63 times across their 10 games en route to a 4-6 record. Averaged about 50 yards and penalties per game last year.
Well, they got 15 returning lettermen, 5 on the offensive side and 4 on the defensive side of the football.
Good experience back for a first-year head coach for the Bobcats and Phil Barron. 1st and 5, a run up the gut, breaking a tackle into the end zone. Justin Avery caps off the Rangers' opening drive as they march 70 yards with ease against South San.
Just a nice opening in the middle of that line. Once again, the offensive line for Smithson Valley doing a great job to blow open holes. And Avery takes it all the way for 6.
Smithson Valley last week, 5 touchdowns, all on the ground. Score on the ground here to kick things off. And the point after from Austin Hoser is in, and the Rangers have struck first a little more than 2.5 minutes into the game. Smithson Valley on top 7-0. Back after this on the Rangers Network.
Tonight's broadcast on Rangers Network is brought to you by GVTC, Ferris Orthodontics, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Fisher's Market, Sage Capital Bank, HEB, Summerhill Dental, Dermatology San Antonio, and Wick Productions.
One possession, 1 touchdown for Smithson Valley. Justin Avery with a touchdown run for the Rangers. Smithson Valley efficient both on the ground and through the air on the opening drive.
And I think we're going to see a lot of success tonight, as we have all season long to this point, Brant, of Smithson Valley running the football. They've seemed to find a little something in the middle of that South San line. We'll see how that continues for them through the course of the game.
Moments ago, saw Rangers head coach Larry Hill in his 28th season at Smithson Valley. Last week they went over Clemens, number 260 in his Ranger career. This kickoff will go out of bounds. No chance at a return there for Joaquin Rangel. And a Ranger penalty will put the Bobcats at the 35-yard line and trying to respond after the Rangers got an opening drive touchdown of their own.
Quarterback for South San is a senior Brandon Riojas. Coach Barron looking to Riojas to kind of lead this offense. He's got a couple of great targets that he'll be looking for this evening in Lopez and in Rangel, that man we were just talking about right there. We'll see how the offense shapes up for South San here momentarily.
Head coach Phil Barron, and again in his first season at South San, previously at Burbank. Last 2 seasons there, guiding Burbank to records of 6-4 and 6-5. The first back-to-back winning seasons at Burbank in more than 50 years. But he is an alum of South San High School. Called this his dream job, the only one he's ever wanted in coaching, and now he's got it. His Bobcats will start at the 30-yard line. Their opening possession, not just of the game, but of 2020. And it is the quarterback, Riojas, looking for an angle to the outside, got cut off. Great pursuit by Toby West for the Rangers. A loss on first down for South San.
That's just a great job of following the quarterback, stringing him out, and throwing him for 1-yard loss. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Last several seasons for Burbank, running a Navy-style triple option offense under Coach Ron Kurtz. Coach Hill not knowing what to expect from South San today. Not only did the Bobcats not play a game, they haven't scrimmaged either. There was no film on this 2020 team, not until tonight. Riojas keeps it himself, and Trey Moore slings him down. Malachi Lane also there, but what a problem Trey Moore has been for opposing offenses this season.
Trey Moore, 25 tackles, 11 thrown for loss, 4 sacks, and add that one to his sack total. Trey Moore has had him a whale of a 2000 campaign thus far.
Honorable mention, All-State a year ago as a junior, has Division I prospects in his future, and putting up big numbers here in 2020. Rojas on 3rd and 15, pressured off the edge by Gavin Woods, slings it, and it is intercepted. Noah Flores, for the second time in as many weeks, has a pick, and the Rangers take over near midfield.
Noah Flores, what a job he's doing in the defensive secondary this year for Smithson Valley. I know in previous conversations I've had with Coach Hill, he's very, very high on Noah.
So Noah Flores, a big second half pick of Max Dinamenko of Schertz Clemens last week. A big pick here for Rojas, and Smithson Valley starts this next drive inside of Bobcat territory. A little more than 4 minutes gone by in the opening quarter. Rangers angling for the second win in a row. Here's Nutt on first down, takes off. Good blocks down the field before he gets sliced down in the secondary by John Garcia. Nutt settles for 5 yards on first down.
As we're mentioning, coming off that big rushing performance last week against Clemens, and his 4 touchdown performance as well, it was the talk of the area.
Roland and I have talked about it, a run-oriented offense for Smithson Valley here in 2020. Bobcats jump off sides, but the down lineman Donovan Gomez got back. Nutt rolls out and throws, man wide open, the tight end Will Ford. A lot of room to run, and takes it inside the 25 before he's tracked down by Richard Lopez.
Just once again, Ford all by his lonesome. Hauling this one in and giving Smithson Valley just outside of the red zone.
And Nutt has opened the game 3 for 3 passing for 37 yards. We're talking about this run-oriented offense, though. Smithson Valley's play calling has been nearly 4-1 runs to passes. 176 rushing plays called so far this season, coming in 4 games into tonight, as that pass is complete to Zach McDonald to 51 passes. We say that, Roland. The Rangers going a little more to the air here this evening.
Yes, and that's very true. They're not known for their passing attack. As a matter of fact, as we look passing, Nutt has thrown for 119 yards against Harker Heights, 111 yards against Madison, but tonight it's been on target thus far.
4 for 4 so far. Here's Hoskins on the run. Great move to the outside. Unable to outrun Lopez on the edge. He'll settle for first down yardage at the 11.
That one move by Hoskins just got him loose. As we can see right here on the replay. Takes a step to the outside, and he's going to pick up positive yardage for that first down before Lopez tracks him down for South San.
Boy, a lot of running room courtesy of this Ranger offensive line. Smithson Valley has shuffled players at different positions along the O-line so far this season. Not a lot of returners from last year either, although a really talented returner in Nathan Muchagimba, first team All-District last year. More running room here for Hoskins, courtesy of the offensive line. Hoskins is down short of the 5. And Smithson Valley on the doorstep of another touchdown.
Once again, Hoskins just punching it ahead before Richard Lopez can make the stop for South San. Just getting it yard by yard at a time.
More than halfway through the opening quarter. Smithson Valley in control. On top 7-0. 6 yards away from a 14-0 lead. Hoskins again slipped a tackle. Lunging ahead, they're going to mark him down short of the goal line. So Hoskins not in quite yet.
Hoskins looking very impressive running the football early for the Rangers. Yeah, just made it to about the 1 yard line before they knock him down. He's kind of coming off the field, favoring his left leg, looks like.
Yeah, Hoskins hobbling towards the sideline. That will bring Travis McCracken back into the backfield at a 30-yard run on the game's opening play. That was good for a first down. And the Rangers have 4 shots here to punch it in. It's McCracken, and he'll walk in. Travis McCracken with his 3rd touchdown of the season. And Smithson Valley clicking in all cylinders right now.
Absolutely. You concentrate on the running game because you know the running game is very potent, and I'm sure the South San side of the football field is aware of that. However, when you go to the run, key on the run, that's opening up the passing lane for Nutt just a bit this evening.
Off with the point after, Austin Hoser. Up and in. It's all Rangers here in the opening quarter, on top 14-0. More high school football coming up after this on the Rangers Network.
Tonight's broadcast on Rangers Network is brought to you by GVTC, Ferris Orthodontics, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Fisher's Market, Sage Capital Bank, HEB, Summerhill Dental, Dermatology San Antonio, and Wick Productions.
2 Ranger possessions, 2 touchdowns, while the Bobcats have had 1 possession, and that ended on a pick, courtesy of Noah Flores for Smithson Valley. And the Rangers have carried over the momentum from last week's win over Clemens into tonight's game. And against Smithson Valley, that win last week over the Buffaloes, awfully impressive.
Absolutely. As you were mentioning, the Rangers have had their trouble with Clemens over the last several years. But just not only to just get the win, but to get me with the exclamation point was very, very big for the Rangers last week.
Kickoff fielded and returned across the 15-yard line. Ron Hell got stacked up short of the 25. And what's funny, Roland, is that you look at the 27-6A standings. It's very early, a lot of football to be played, but Clemens, a perennial playoff team and a team that did not lose a single district game last year, is out to 0-2 27-6A start.
They're 0-2, 1-3 overall, so you don't know. Clemens may be in transition this year. That'd be something really important to keep our eye on for the rest of the season.
But to be fair to Clemens, 1-3, losses to Austin Westlake, Judson, and Smithson Valley. That's pretty stiff competition right there.
That's fair, Brad. You're absolutely right.
Riojas, as a flag flies, got tackled on the outside by Darlington Frash. And we'll check the call.
Frash always around that football, though. 31 tackles thus far on the evening, thus far on the season, that is. 4 thrown for a loss. Darlington Frash, presence to be reckoned with in that middle linebacker position for the Rangers.
Illegal shift, the call against South San. And Frash, yes, second leading tackler on the team for Coach Hill's defense. Had 9 last week, couple for loss in the win over the Buffaloes. A player who began his career as a freshman here at Smithson Valley, but as a running back, now playing at linebacker.
That's right. I recall the days he was in the Ranger backfield. And just on a personal note, I've had the chance to meet Darlington on several occasions. Very, very fine young man.
In the middle of that Ranger defense. Riojas trying to get something going here for the Bobcats offense. A screen for the receiver on the play. Lopez got blown up. Rangers were right there and read that play. Small gain, maybe 2. Second down and long.
Malachi Lane over to make the stop that time for Smithson Valley. You talk about another presence on defense. That would be Malachi Lane from his linebacker position. 18 tackles thus far, 38 tackles rather, thus far on the season. 8 thrown for loss, 1 sack. Doing a good job.
Riojas over the middle, passes incomplete, looking for Rodhell. Brings up 3rd down and long. Smithson Valley's defense has been living in the opponent backfield so far this year. Through their first 4 games, 12 sacks, 39 tackles for loss. You look at the 2 district games alone, 23 tackles behind the line of scrimmage and 5 sacks.
And, you know, we're talking about the other teams in the district. That's something they're going to have to take note of.
3rd and long for the Bobcats. Riojas pressured off his back foot. That's intercepted. Blake Bowman the pick. Did he stay in bounds? I believe he did. And the Rangers defense has picked off Riojas twice to start the game.
Blake Bowman came into this game with 1 interception. That's going to be his second. Recall the days he played quarterback in middle school.
Bowman also had a pick in the opener against Harker Heights. Riojas, last year's the quarterback, starting all 10 games for the Bobcats, didn't throw a lot in what was a triple option look. Only threw 3 picks all of last year, has thrown 2 here in the first quarter tonight. Nutt first down, shot in the end zone for Freeland, just beyond his reach. And incomplete, running that post pattern, trying to beat the man-to-man coverage over the top at second down.
I think this homecoming crowd would have come unglued if Freeland would have pulled that in. That was just a beautiful pass by Nutt, just a bit long for his intended receiver.
That is the first misfire of the night for Jalen Nutt, a player talking about others who have changed positions. Nutt had played corner for the Rangers the past couple of years, but did play the quarterback position in 7th and 8th grade, and also as a freshman at the high school level in 9th grade. Here's a run play. McCracken inside the 25-yard line before he is chopped down by Richard Lopez. Third down coming up for Smithson Valley. We'll call it 3rd down and 4.
I sure like what the Rangers have been doing on the ground this evening, running the football. They've been able to set themselves up. As a matter of fact, every time they've had the ball, they've scored. So let's see if this holds true as well.
Nutt trained a lot, though, in the offseason, getting ready for his first crack at varsity quarterback here in 2020. They'll call his own number here, and Nutt gets taken down. One of the better defensive plays of the night for the Bobcats. Jacob Cifuentes, the junior, on the tackle there for South San, a district newcomer of the year and a really good 27-6A last year.
That's correct. 41 tackles and 1 sack last year for Cifuentes. Certainly made his impact on this Bobcat squad.
And Coach Hill keeps the offense on the field. 4th down, the Rangers have to reach the 19 to extend the drive. Here's Nutt off the pump fake, pressured, and down he goes. The Bobcats defense holds. Big play from Isaac Franco. Came in unblocked to make the tackle of Nutt.
And you don't see this too often, as Nutt is very elusive when he has the football. But that time, just a good heads-up play by Franco to make the stop on the Smithson Valley quarterback. Bobcats will have the football.
Talking more about Bobcats head coach Phil Barone. When he was at the school board meeting, when they introduced him as the newest head coach of this program, he told the board members this was not just any job to him. It's one he's had his eye on ever since he got into coaching 14 years ago, and he's still very young, only 36 years old. He wants this to be his last coaching stop.
It's got to be something special to go back to your alma mater and be able to be the head coach of the football program.
So far, 2 possessions for the Bobcats, 2 turnovers. After the turnover on downs, South San takes over, but immediately a penalty will back them up 5 yards. Or no, before the delay of game, they got a timeout in. As we're inside of 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter, Rangers on top 14-0.
It's been all Rangers. Bobcats just wanted to talk something over. It'd be nice to see if they made some sort of little impact here to give them some momentum or make them feel like they still had a shot in this, because still very early in the ball game.
This gives Coach Hill a chance to talk to his defense, and when speaking of the defense last week, thought they really rose to the occasion against a very good Clemens offense. He said that he wouldn't have believed you if you told him the Rangers would hold the Buffaloes to just 2 of those explosive plays the entire game. Again, the Rangers holding Clemens to only 7 points last week as they beat Clemens for the first time since 2016. That's a big hurdle to clear in this district. The Rangers have done that. And now tonight looking for a 2-1 start to 27-6A play. There's a sweep on first down, but the fake on the sweep as Riojas keeps it himself and Bowman on the tackle. No gain there for Brendan Riojas. This offense is yet to really get things going in the first quarter.
Good heads-up play there by Bowman. Also, Toby West from his linebacker position coming over to make some help on the stop of the South San quarterback Riojas.
3 possessions, 2 turnovers, negative 4 yards of offense so far for the Bobcats. Riojas to the air on second down. It's brought in by Lopez, wrapped up by Bowman short of the 40. And that is the biggest positive play South San has had today and makes third down manageable for Coach Barone and the Bobcats.
A nice pickup that time. Good presence of mind by the quarterback Riojas to find his target. And, of course, as you were mentioning, third and very manageable. 3rd and 1, they're saying, according to the scoreboard.
Final minute of the opening quarter. And for South San, the opening quarter of the season. Again, here we are in week 6. This is their first game. Riojas throws that behind the receiver, intercepted. Another pick for the Rangers defense. Andrew Montalvo, the junior, makes a play. 3rd different Ranger with a pick here in the opening quarter.
You know, that defensive secondary for Smithson Valley is just not giving an inch. It seems like they're always right around the football when Riojas is unloading it, and that's how they've come up with 3 picks thus far this evening.
Little surprise. South San goes to the air there on 3rd and 1. Roland, the passing game has obviously struggled so far here tonight. Would have thought the Bobcats may have just lined it up and headed it off.
And it could be just another need to find out who they are. Are they a running team or are they a passing team?
On first down, Nutt throws. This is complete. And on the catch there, Will Strachan. Strachan has been banged up and has not played this season until tonight. Coach Hill believes he could be a special playmaker at receiver for this Ranger offense.
Camacho over to make the stop that time for South San as the clock, they may get a playoff here before the end of the quarter.
Nutt quickly back to the line. Final few seconds. Here's that snap. It is a run. Avery, big hole up along the left side inside the 15. And a first down ends the opening quarter. What a quarter it was for the Rangers. The offense, 2 touchdowns. The defense, 3 interceptions. Smithson Valley on top at the end of 1 on the Rangers Network.
What's your Wi-Fi score? With the GVTC Wi-Fi score quiz, your needs. Maybe you're a Tipic user who only has a few connected devices around the house. Take our quick Wi-Fi score quiz today at gvtc.com/Wi-Fi score and make sure your connection is up to speed.
For the 4th time this season, the Rangers are serving as a season-opening opponent for a team here in 2020. Coach Hill talking about that and saying it's just bizarre. Some look at it as an advantage as the Rangers have played, but he looks at it the opposite way, as a disadvantage. As they keep going into these games not knowing anything about the opponent, if this is what a disadvantage looks like, though, the Rangers do pretty good being at a disadvantage. On first down, a short run for Avery inside the 10. Opening quarter for the Rangers, 2 touchdowns, and the defense forcing 3 turnovers. You couldn't ask for a better opening quarter if you're Coach Hill.
You know, you're talking about season openers, as you were mentioning. This their 4th with 4 different teams. That says a lot about that coaching staff, how they've worked together. They know how to make adjustments. They know how to read what's out there and to be able to execute. And they've been successful thus far this season.
Early stages, quarter number 2. There was a flag in the last play against South San. So this is actually first down and 5. Should be first down as they marked off penalty yardage there. Here's Nutt, throws in zone but low, incomplete. And looking for Freeland. They didn't change the down marker, though, so I guess it's third down.
That'll bring up a third down. You thought it would have reset the down, but I guess that not being the case.
Well, Coach Hill is now talking to the head official. And again, there was a 5-yard penalty accepted by the Rangers, so this should be second down.
Second down. That's my way of looking at it.
Let's see if they change it here. The down marker still reached third, and the officials are going to.
Yeah, timeout. They're going to discuss this.
Well, I think Coach Hill had to spend his own so they could talk
goodness.
about this. So, as it stands right now, third down, we'll call it 4 to go. Early stages here of quarter number 2, getting more on the fact that this is the Rangers' season opener. And Coach Hill talking about the difficulty in preparing for it. There's no tape to trade. The Bobcats haven't played a game. They haven't scrimmaged. And the fact that South San has a new coach as well in Phil Barone, he has no idea, had no idea coming into the game what to expect from this offense or the defense.
And by the looks of things, of course, South San still trying to get their legs under them.
Mm-hmm. This is a South San team which won 4 games a year ago. They started the season last year 4-1, won their first 2 district games, but then lost their final 5 games of the season and finished 2 games out of a playoff spot, missing out of the postseason for the 12th year in a row. They didn't change it down. It's third. Here's Nutt, pressured, breaks out of a tackle inside the 5. Diving for the end zone. Did he get in? He did. What a play for Jalen Nutt. And the Rangers in for the 3rd time tonight.
That's just 1-2 right there, Brent. That's what that is. That's 1-2. He was not to be denied, especially for crossing the end zone like that. Oh, you got to love Jalen Nutt. What a job he's doing.
Got away from Donovan Gamez and found a way to fight into the end zone. 5th rushing touchdown of the season for Jalen Nutt, scoring 4 last week. Point after is in from Hoser. Smithson Valley comfortably in control, 21-0 early in the second on the Rangers Network.
Tonight's broadcast on Rangers Network is brought to you by GVTC, Ferris Orthodontics, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Fisher's Market, Sage Capital Bank, HEB, Summerhill Dental, Dermatology San Antonio, and Wick Productions.
Hi, I'm Kelly Irwin. Sage Capital Bank is proud to partner with Comal ISD in supporting our community, families, and students. Go Rangers!
Well, Smithson Valley's found pay dirt 3 times here tonight. They've intercepted Bobcat quarterback Brendan Riojas 3 times. Jalen Nutt on the headset right now for Smithson Valley after an impressive run into the end zone, breaking a tackle in the backfield, finding his way across the goal line. Smithson Valley well in control here in the second quarter as the ensuing kickoff is returned by John Garcia and takes it up across the 15 short of the 20-yard line. Homecoming 2020 here at Smithson Valley. Fans in attendance, masks are on, trying to do their part in social distancing. The mums are out. Not quite the environment you typically see in homecoming, but in 2020, you'll take it in any form.
Absolutely. Spirit's still here, and you can't ask for much more than that. Just to pass along early first quarter score, it's Wagner on top of New Braunfels 7-0. That's with 4:46 left to go in the first.
Boy, what a heartbreaking loss for New Braunfels last week against Steele. 22-21 the Knights over the Unicorns this past Friday. And a timeout. Officials. Or no, delay of game is the call against the Bobcats. And they'll start this drive on first down and 15 So New Braunfels led that game 21-14 late. They intercepted Knights quarterback Wyatt Beagle with 1:34 left. And what they thought was a game-winning turnover. That was not the case. On first down, kind of an awkward handoff there. It was fumbled on the exchange between Riojas and Desmond Padilla. Riojas jumps back on it. We'll set up second down and long here for the Bobcats. But Steele got the ball back late, and they drove down the field, and they were stopped by New Braunfels twice. But each of those plays, the Unicorns were penalized, leading to an untimed down for Steele. So on the third chance, the Knights got a touchdown on a run by Wyatt Beagle. Amending for the interception. Riojas in trouble, and down he goes. Diego Hamilton to play there for Smithson Valley as the Bobcats continue going backwards. Third down and about 20 to go. So Beagle the touchdown, and then on the ensuing point after, Steele elects to go for 2. Beagle takes it in with no time left. Steele wins it 22-21.
That's just the improbable. It came to pass last week, as you were mentioning, a heartbreaking situation for New Braunfels.
New Braunfels now 0-2 in 27 6A play. This pass is high and incomplete. Lopez looking for a flag. Won't get it, and South San goes 3 and out. First time they have survived a possession without turning the football over.
And for the first time in 2020, we're going to see the Bobcats punt.
New Braunfels is one of 3 0-2 teams in 27 6A, East Central and Clemens. And you look at the depth of the district, right, with Smithson Valley and Steele and Judson and Clemens and now Wagner in the district. Simply making the playoffs will be quite an accomplishment for any of those 4 teams.
And, you were mentioning Wagner, who's new to the district this year, and how it wasn't necessarily expected they were going to be among the elite, and all of a sudden they are, and you attribute that to some of the tough games they had played early on.
Timeout taken by the Bobcats and their first-year head coach, Phil Barone. When realignment happened in this district, the 2 teams were moved. San Marcos here in 27 6A was one of them, as Wagner came back in, also in South San. And so when South San was inserted into the district, Coach Barone saying, look, they can't control where the UIL places them. They're going to have to go into each game each week and give it their best shot. No matter who they're up against, they're never going to back down. But South San, after being in a tough district the last 2 years, the likes of Reagan and Madison and Churchill being placed into this one. Man.
Well, they were used to it in the other district, too, another tough district. And penalty markers down.
Short punt. Picked up at a bounce by Flores at the 33. He's got some blocks and a good move by Flores, spun out of bounds. We have another flag to check. By the way, the other team that left was Canyon. The Cougars dropped from 6A to 5A, and now they're playing good football at the 5A level.
Absolutely, but year in and year out, you're up against the Smithson Valleys and the Steels and the Judsons, and a lot of those teams don't rebuild necessarily, they just reload. So
illegal chop block against South San. They'll tack that yardage on to the end of the return by Flores. So Smithson Valley will start inside the 20-yard line. 4 possessions so far for the Rangers, 3 touchdowns, and a turnover on downs for Coach Hill's offense. So the ball is spotted at the 8. That's right around where the Bobcats punted the football. They would have been better off going for it on 4th and 19 than what happened there.
And change of possession. So
that's a 4th penalty against the Bobcats, and goal to go for the Rangers. Nutt took it in on a touchdown run the last time the Rangers had it. Freeland here gets cut down for a loss. Donovan Gomez, the tackle there for the Bobcats behind the 15-yard line for a loss of 6.
Well, good pursuit that time by Gomez from his defensive end position. Just keying on Freeland there, coming over to make the stop. one of the few times that Smithson Valley has been thrown for a loss this evening.
Rangers looking for a 4-1 start of the season. Non-district wins over Harker Heights and Madison. Now split their first 2 district games so far. On second down and 16, Avery on the run inside the 15-yard line. Settles for about 4 yards there to bring up third down, about 12 to go after the carry there by Avery. This game was initially scheduled for tomorrow on October the 30th, moved back to the 29th as a part of the reshuffling of the deck with the postponement of the game against New Braunfels for Smithson Valley, which, by the way, that game, initially scheduled 2 weeks ago, will take place next Thursday here at Ranger Stadium. On third down, Nutt steps up and throws. He's got a man. Diving attempt, though, is incomplete. Looking for Zach McDonald. Couldn't quite haul it in. Brings up fourth down.
Looked like just off his fingertips as we see Nutt here stepping up and just floats it in there.
Nutt connected in all the first 4 of his passes, has since gone 1 of 4 through the air. And that will send out Austin Hoser and will attempt from 31 yards out. Has made 5 field goals this season and make it 6. Hoser's good. It's all good for the Rangers so far. On top 24-0 early in the second. On the Rangers Network. We're back after this.
Tonight's broadcast on Rangers Network is brought to you by GVTC, Ferris Orthodontics, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Fisher's Market, Sage Capital Bank, HEB, Summerhill Dental, Dermatology San Antonio, and Wick Productions.
Smithson Valley getting a 31-yard field goal from Austin Hoser moments ago. The Rangers scoring for the 4th time in 5 possessions to start the game. Student section making their voices heard here on this Thursday night from Ranger Stadium. And again, Thursday, this time next week, another Thursday game for the Rangers as they host New Braunfels here at Ranger Stadium. The kickoff muffed, but picked up by the return man Garcia. Nice return across the 20. And then gets sent out of bounds. Toby West trying to rip the ball away from Garcia. And the Bobcats will start at about the 27-yard line. A lot of work to do for South San. A team still trying to figure out its identity. Again, this is their season opener.
Exactly. So we notice the return here. Good presence of mind there.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice, he just kind of ripped the ball away from the special teams player for Smithson Valley and went out. He was trying to apparently strip the ball from him, but nothing doing there. Good return.
Best starting field position that the Bobcats have had tonight, but can they do something with it? So far, 4 possessions for South San, 3 interceptions, and a 3-and-out. Short run for Desmond Padilla. Able to move the pile, though, a few more yards and turns nothing into something on a gain of 5 for Padilla. Just 34 carries a year ago, but was the Bobcats' 4th leading rusher last season. A lot of new parts here for Coach Phil Barone.
Darlington Frash finally wrestled Padilla to the ground. Not after a gain of 5.
We talked about last year for the Bobcats. It was a tale of 2 seasons. The first half went so well. The second half got away from them as the competition stepped up. Late in district, there's a penalty. That will go against the Bobcats and essentially erase a yardage that Padilla had just picked up. Their 5th flag here of the opening half. Again, they lost their final 5 games of 2019. That led to the reassignment of Ron Kurtz within the district after going 10-30 over 4 seasons with the Bobcats. That change came in May, and the hiring of Phil Barone came in July, 2 months later. On second down, here's the quarterback Riojas, turns the corner. Trey Moore chasing him, pushes him out of bounds. There's a flag. They'll tack on 15 more at the end of the run. So the best play for the Bobcats tonight, and South San will get more yardage on top of it.
Well, he had the corner. It looked like just a simple trying to run him out of bounds, but I guess the official saw it a different way. This will put South San into Smithson Valley territory for the first time this evening.
Yeah, the ball crosses midfield at the Ranger 48. Easily, yes, the deepest South San has been tonight. Coach Hill always talking about penalties and trying to clean those things up. There's 2 15-yard flags against the Rangers now tonight. Here's Padilla and Moore with the tackle, but again, Padilla, a great run. Moore, though, yes, ripped the ball away, and the Rangers have just forced their 4th turnover of the game. Talk about making amends for the penalty.
And yeah, Trey Moore coming away with a fumble. Strip the ball, falls on the football. It'll be first down Rangers.
Think about this now. 4 turnovers forced for the Rangers tonight, 3 last week. That gives them a dozen on the season. This defense last year forced just 16 takeaways, only 6 the year before. Smithson Valley doing a much better job this season and getting the ball away from the opposition.
Absolutely. That's Moore's second fumble recovery of the season thus far.
And boy, what a rough start for South San's offense as Avery has the carry. Didn't get much on the play. We'll bring up second down. South San's offense last year committed 13 turnovers, at least 1 in 8 of the 10 games. Tonight, 4, and we're not even a quarter and a half in.
Well, as you were saying, and we had alluded to a little bit earlier, yeah, still trying to find out who they are.
On second down, here's Nutt off the play fake. He's going deep down the middle. Pass incomplete. Freeland's defender fell down too. Lopez, the one that fell down defending Freeland down the field, brings up 3rd and long.
Great block that time by Ryan Benka from his left tackle position, creating all kind of time for Nutt.
3 straight incompletions now for Nutt. And trying to move the chains here on 3rd down and 10. Bobcats looking for a stop and to get the ball back to the offense. Here's Nutt on the rollout, completes it to the tight end Domel, but stops short of the sticks, and a good defensive stand there for the Bobcats.
Joaquin Rangel over to make the stop that time for South San. Had some help from John Garcia. And it'll be a 4th and 3 now for Smithson Valley.
And Coach Hill is going to shuffle in some other offensive players, not the punting unit, so the offense stays out there. 4th and 3. Maybe a pooch kick here from Nutt. Maybe the Rangers trying to draw the Bobcats offside. At a timeout taken by Smithson Valley. With 5:41 to go here in the first half, and the Rangers on top 24-0. Discussing more about Coach Barone and what he did at Burbank, leading that program to the playoffs last year. Just the 4th time for Burbank making the playoffs in the last 42 seasons. So he helped turn around that program. He's got his work cut out from here at South San, especially early on, as we've chronicled playing in this 27 6A district.
Right, but you know, what he did at Burbank, if he can take that to South San and just implement, I guess, the same sort of mindset that he had there with Burbank earlier on, he'll have these South San Bobcats maybe 500 or above in the not-too-distant future.
We saw Coach Hill talk with the offense moments ago. Again, in his 28th season, just one losing record in his first 27 years at Smithson Valley. That came in his first season back in 1993. Roland was only 20 at the time.
You're very kind.
I was waiting for the reaction there.
I was doing the math.
4th and 3. Here's Nutt. He's got the blocks. He's got the first down. Good 4th down play call there for Smithson Valley. Will move the chains. So how far off was the math?
Pretty far off. I was still an old man in 1993.
13 district titles, 24 playoff appearances for Coach Hill. State finalist 3 times over, including the last time the Rangers played the Bobcats back in 2001. Made the state finals that year playing 4A football. On first down near midfield, a run for Avery, got spilled over, broke a tackle though, breaks another. How about Avery, the senior tailback? Good first down pickup, moves the chains again for Smithson Valley.
Justin Avery just wanted to stay up. He wasn't going down. Wasn't going to be denied before he finally got run down there by Joaquin Rangel, but great job to stay on his feet.
Leads all Rangers with 7 carries here in the first half. Good for 36 yards for Avery. One of those carries good for a touchdown. 3 different Rangers have scored touchdowns in this game. Avery, McCracken, and Nutt. Now Nutt to throw over the middle and deep, and a catch inside the 20. In traffic, what a catch, and down to the 18 by Will Strachan.
Strachan just willed that into his hands, no pun intended. But you were right, into coverage. They had a couple of men back on him, Flores and Camacho.
It's a gain of 23, the best throw we've seen from Nutt tonight. And now with a healthy Will Strachan on top of Maverick Friedland, the Rangers might have some playmakers on the outside here, and you might see a more balanced approach to the offense moving forward. We talked about the disparity in run to pass through Smithson Valley's first 4 games this season. On first down, Avery running to his left inside the 15. Smithson Valley has second down and 5 coming up after that 5-yard run.
I would think at this point you just want to run out the first half clock and get into the locker room. Seems like that's what Smithson Valley was looking at there, giving the ball to Avery. Of course, doing a great job running the football.
Should note we saw Gabe Hoskins, Smithson Valley's lead back, get banged up late in the first quarter. He has not returned since then. Avery, a bulk of the carries. McCracken has a few as well. Flags before this snap.
Talking about Hoskins, his big game came in week 3 against Wagner. 20 carries for 94 yards and a touchdown. His long run to the 9 was 19 yards.
The false start called there against Smithson Valley. The road not getting any easier for the Bobcats moving forward next week. On the road again at Clemens. After that, at home against Steele. Then on the road at Wagner. So they are playing 3 of the juggernauts in the district 3 consecutive weeks, and they had a forfeit against Judson last week. They weren't yet clear to play. Second down and long. Here's Nutt. Rolls and throws. Man wide open to the 15, inside the 10. Chase Sinalik, the catch for the Rangers. Not a player featured in the offense very much this year. And Smithson Valley has goal to go coming up.
Sinalik had a lot of space there between him and the defenders.
And now Nutt, 12 pass attempts here in the first half. Only 10 the entire game last week against Clemens. First and goal. It's Avery. Slips a tackle inside the 5, and goal to go coming up at the 2-yard line. Good first half continues for Justin Avery after a gain of 6 yards. I want you to keep your eye on one Ranger offensive lineman in particular. Colton Thomason, number 77. You cannot miss him.
No, you can't.
He looks like a man amongst boys out there on Smithson Valley's offensive line. Only a sophomore. He's a giant. Flag before the snap.
Check the penalty, Barker.
Delay of game called against South San.
Wow.
It remains second down and goal.
Colton Thomason, you mentioning him, he was a friend of my son's. They're in about the same grade, or
Uh-huh.
they are in the same grade, actually. I remember meeting him coming into Smithson Valley, and my first thought was, oh, Coach Hill has got to be in heaven taking a look at this young man. He's every bit, everything you need on that offensive line.
And he's very agile, too. Plays the guard position, does Thomason, so he's asked to pull quite a bit, and he gets out in space. Another flag on this play, or at least the whistle's blowing again. This time a timeout called by the Bobcats with 2 minutes and change left here at the opening quarter. Thomason coming off the field. You see him there for Smithson Valley.
I could run in back of him. Golly, that's a fine size for an offensive lineman.
So 24-0, Rangers on top as we approach the half. Smithson Valley, by the way, 3-0 this year when leading at the break, and they have put teams away. Smithson Valley has outscored its opponents in the second half 74-20. You've got to be a second half team to close out opponents in this district, Roland.
That's the way it is, and as you were mentioning, it's not going to get any easier. I mean, we saw the Wagner situation, of course, the Wagner situation, the overtime loss.
Yeah.
But still to come. I mean, we got Judson. They have to deal with Steele, and you don't necessarily take your foot off the gas with New Braunfels because you never know what can happen there.
You saw again what the Unicorns did last week, pushing Steele to the limit, a game New Braunfels should have won. Out of the Bobcats timeout, they're out of them. Second and goal for the Rangers. On second down, Avery to the outside. Avery is in for the second time. And the Rangers are rolling on a Thursday night here at Ranger Stadium.
Well, just can't praise Avery enough for the first half that young man has had running the football.
It had been so long for Avery between touchdowns coming into this game. Just one. It came in the opener against Harker Heights. Well, here he is now 5 weeks later. He scored twice as he revisits his old friend. Point out from Hosier is in. It's all Smithson Valley, 31-0. Approaching the end of the first half on the Rangers Network.
Tonight's broadcast on Rangers Network is brought to you by GVTC, Ferris Orthodontics, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Fisher's Market, Sage Capital Bank, HEB, Summerhill Dental, Dermatology San Antonio, and Wick Productions.
Over the past decade, Smithson Valley so tough to beat here at home. Coach Hill's Rangers at Ranger Stadium dating back to 2010, a record of 43-10. Here on the campus of Smithson Valley High School, a winning percentage of .811. That number appears to be on its way to increasing as Smithson Valley has increased its lead to 31-0 following the 2-yard touchdown run from Jalen Nutt. This after the Bobcats' fourth turnover of the first half. Kickoff into the end zone. South San will take over at its own 25-yard line. A lot of work to do for the Bobcats. And if you're South San, certainly you want to try to come back and win this game. Yes, that's your top objective, but also you're thinking about moving forward. For the Bobcats, with no scrimmages heading into the season, in a way, this is a scrimmage for them as they prepare for more district games.
Absolutely, you've got to build off of it. You've got to find out what did we do right in that game, what can we concentrate on and possibly apply further on in the season to yield better results.
So far, the Bobcats just 29 yards of offense. Padilla gives them 30 as he picks up a yard on that run. Padilla was the one that coughed it up on the last South San possession.
It's right over Joel Herring making the stop for the Rangers. And I tell you, Padilla has a lot of will running that football as well. He doesn't want to go down.
Final 90 seconds of the first half. It's Padilla again, putting his head down. Good run out to the 30. And that'll bring up third down for the Bobcats. Talked about how Smithson Valley's been a great second half team. You look back at the South San numbers from a year ago, it was the middle quarters in which they really struggled. Between the second and third quarters last year, the Bobcats outscored by nearly 100 points, 160 to 61. Started games well, but as the games wore on, had a hard time holding up against some really stiff competition. The 6 losses last year came against teams with a combined record of 42 and 26. Riojas on the first down run. Scampers out at around the 40. That'll stop the clock with 41 seconds to go. And the second first down picked up tonight by Riojas on the ground.
A couple of minutes ago we were mentioning New Braunfels and certainly not wanting to take them lightly. Well, they've come back to tie Wagner with 8:32 left to go before halftime. It's all even at 7.
And we'll have that game next week for you here on the Rangers Network, New Braunfels and Smithson Valley. One of the great mascot names you'll come across in the country, the Unicorns.
Absolutely. Strikes fear in the heart.
Doesn't it? On first down, Padilla. Short yardage. As we tick down to 30 seconds to go here in the first half. But they play up the Unicorn mascot as much as they can. You see it, and Unicorns flexing their muscles and looking as aggressive as they possibly can.
Oh, absolutely. New Braunfels has always had a very, very tough program, I know, in years past.
Well, how about one Cliff Kingsbury, right?
You don't have to go far with that, absolutely.
Now the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, Padilla, stopped short of midfield, and that will take us to the end of the first half. A first half, as the score would indicate, dominated by Smithson Valley. On top, 31-0 here in Homecoming 2020 on a Thursday night from Spring Branch. Halftime coverage coming up. You're watching Smithson Valley High School football on the Rangers Network.
What's your Wi-Fi score? With the GVTC Wi-Fi Score Quiz, you can determine the Wi-Fi speed to suit your needs. Maybe you're a typic user who only has a few connected devices around the house. Take our quick Wi-Fi Score Quiz today at gvtc.com/Wi-Fi and make sure your connection is up to speed.
There's no way that that's pass interference. Look, he's making a play for the ball and there's not even any contact. That's not interference.
I don't know, Coach. It is what it is.
No way. Run that back again.
Well, Coach, maybe it was a bad call, but it sure doesn't get any better than this.
Well, actually it can.
Coach, this is awesome.
I'm glad you think so. Hey, quit spilling popcorn on the field. Touchdown.
I'm Dr. Matt Bayless with Summerhill Dental. If you've been putting off going to see the dentist out of fear, I want you to know that it's time to go see your dentist. We have a procedure in place on how we intake patients and how we handle all patients to make sure everybody's experience here at our office is safe and productive. People have been afraid to go to the dentist just for a routine cleaning, but we've got you covered. It's time to come back and see your dentist. Summerhill Dental, your Smithson Valley dentist.
Tonight's broadcast on Rangers Network is brought to you by GVTC, Ferris Orthodontics, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Fisher's Market, Sage Capital Bank, HEB, Summerhill Dental, Dermatology San Antonio, and Wick Productions.
What's your Wi-Fi score? With the GVTC Wi-Fi score quiz, you can determine the Wi-Fi speed to suit your needs. Maybe you're a typic user who only has a few connected devices around the house. Take our quick Wi-Fi score quiz today at gvtc.com/Wi-Fi score and make sure your connection is up to speed.
Hi, I'm Lena Bolin, and I'm the mortgage lender at Sage Capital Bank. It's halftime at Ranger Stadium, and the
I'm Dr. Matt Bayless with Summerhill Dental. If you've been putting off going to see the dentist out of fear, I want you to know that it's time to go see your dentist. We have a procedure in place on how we intake patients and how we handle all patients to make sure everybody's experience here at our office is safe and productive. People have been afraid to go to the dentist just for a routine cleaning, but we've got you covered. It's time to come back and see your dentist. Summerhill Dental, your Smithson Valley dentist.
As we look forward to the 2020 season, Rangers Network is celebrating the 45th anniversary of Smithson Valley High School football by taking a look at monumental plays throughout Ranger history that form the building blocks that shape our foundation for success and weave the tradition that is Ranger football. Head coach Larry Hill has reunited the coaches and players to relive the magical moments one more time. Get your guns up for the year 2015.
The 2015 season was a memorable one for Ranger football fans. A year that ended up with a trip to the quarterfinals, playing well into December. And there were a lot of great moments, obviously, in a season like that. Many exciting games, many memorable moments in those games. But today we're going to pick one early in the season. We're going to go back to a home game against the Brennan Bears. Brennan came into our stadium, came into Ranger Stadium on a 40-game regular season win streak. Had played for the state championship just 2 years prior. Was favored in our game, obviously, with that kind of track record. And there are a bunch of big plays that night. But there are three big ones that stand out that let the Rangers win and gave them momentum early in the year that carried them on into December football. We're going to go straight to the tape. The first play is a special teams play. We take a lot of pride in our special teams here at Smithson Valley, and we're going to bring in a couple of players now that are going to make this not points for Brennan, but points for Smithson Valley. Bring in Matt Sandoval and Derek Hausler, a couple of wide receivers who are going to make a special teams play. Matt, Derek, thank y'all for being here today.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Coach, for having us.
Now, what in the world are two wide receivers doing on the field goal block unit? Matt, you got an idea? Why are you there?
I guess y'all trusted me and Derek to get around the edge and block the kick, I guess.
You bet. We never have been shy about putting our good players in there. And Matt, you're at the top of the screen, and Derek is at the bottom of the screen. So as the play unfolds, and I'm going to let this thing go, we've got a block side and a pickup side. Matt, what are you doing? Why are you coming at this angle, at this arrow here at the top?
That's what we are coached to do, so we don't run into the kicker or the holder and get a penalty.
You bet. And you'll either block the kick or miss entirely. Now, Derek, this is interesting. The kick is going that way. Why are you running over here?
Yes, sir. So the pickup point, usually after a person blocks it, if it's lucky enough, should go right and go from there. Stop.
Yes, sir. That's the pickup point. Now, how many times in a year does it actually go to the pickup point? It's not a round ball. It's an oblong ball, but maybe once or twice, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, here we go. It's fixing to happen here. If it only happens once, here we go. The kick is kicked. There it is on the ground. One hop, convenient hop. It's in Derek's hands. And before anybody knows what's going on, we're running the distance here. Pulling away. Instead of 3 points for Brennan, we got 7 points for Smithson Valley. Instead of them taking a 3-point lead, Smithson Valley's taking a 7-point lead. Let's look at it from the end zone. We got from just behind the kicking team here. Matt, we're going to go back to you. That's you on the left, and as we roll, you'll barely see Derek sticking in the screen on the right. Here it is. Here's just what it looks like. Matt, right there, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking, man, this is the thing we practice all week. I gotta put my hands in the right place, and hopefully it hits my hands and lands in Derek's hands.
Well, it unfolded just like you hoped, because there it is right there. That ball got from you to there in a hurry, and like I said earlier, took a convenient hop. Derek, what are you thinking right here?
At this point, I'm probably thinking just don't get caught and run as fast as you can to the end zone.
Don't look back, and I hope the fast guys aren't behind me. It energized the crowd a bunch, and as we said, instead of trailing by 3, we're up by 7 now. But Brennan won't go away. They go down and they tie the score. So we've got to do something to get the lead back. And as you can see, we're about 82, 83 yards from the end zone. And we're going to get a big play from our quarterback and our wide receiver. At the bottom of the screen's Derek Hausler, who we just saw go the length of the field with a field goal block return to give us the lead. Now he's going to get us the lead again with a big play down the middle of the field. Okay, as the play unfolds, the ball is, and Matt Sandoval, our inside receiver, is going to back up toward the sideline, and our quarterback with another circle around him up there is going to pump fake to him and draw both defenders to Matt. And when that happens, that opens up the middle of the field. They vacate the middle of the field. Derek Hausler, Derek's on with us here. Derek, right here, are you feeling it?
Yes, sir. With the way that safety bit down on that, it left the middle of the field wide open, and real easy play to make. So.
You bet. And here comes a nice throw from Josh. You take it right in stride. You catch it about 64 yards away from the touchdown. And I guess this is a touchdown, yes?
Almost. I'll let the tape roll.
You didn't quite have the head start that you had on the field goal return. So we almost break it, but we flip the field. We go down and the very next play or two and take the lead. Now let's bring in Josh Atkins now. Josh was our 3-year starter for us at quarterback. Of course, 2-year starter at New Mexico State. Now he's over at UTSA getting ready to be a quarterback. Josh, thanks for joining us and coming on today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited. It's always fun to do this.
Well, take us through this play now. What do we got going here? You're kind of surveying the defense. Now, right here, what's fixing to happen?
I'm going to pump fake, hopefully try to get them to bite on the bubble that we've thrown a couple times in the game and get the middle of the field wide open, which is what happened.
There's the pump fake, getting great protection there.
Yes,
and what kind of throw we got here? Pretty flat throw, huh?
Yes, trying to not put too much air on it. I knew he was wide open. I didn't want to give it any type of chance, so I put it on him and let him do the rest.
Great throw, caught it right in stride. Like you said, here we were backed up. We don't score, but we 60-some-odd yard gain, and then we go on to take it in the end zone and take the lead. So now we take the lead. They come back and tie it. They still won't go away. It's that kind of game. And the score's still tied, and now we're inside of a minute to go in the game, and we get the ball back. Our defense makes a great stand on their end of the field. We get a short punt. We get the ball in great field position. We go down, get a field goal or a touchdown to win the game. So we're going to bring in Lane Ralston now. Lane was our fullback for that entire season, and he's on the show with us now. Lane, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Coach. Thanks for having us.
You bet. Fixing to make the play that you'll remember for a long time, I'm guessing.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Let's go to it. Here you are on the screen. Now, why are you late getting from the right to the left? Why are you just now lining up? What's going on there? Is Coach Hill screaming about something?
Yeah, you were screaming for me to be on that side. I think there was a motion signaled in, but I knew I had to do on the first easy, and Matt was going to have to be coming on the second, or else we would have got a penalty.
Okay, so it wasn't your fault. It wasn't my fault. B. Hill signaled that play in?
I don't remember, but I'm pretty
I
sure.
think so. Yeah, we're gonna blame it on somebody, and it's not gonna be me or you. But we got you squared away here now, and we're gonna run this play. Now, as the play unfolds, Josh Atkins, our quarterback, is gonna fake a handoff to Ben Zoig, our tailback. That's the start of the play. We fake here, and then Josh rolls to the other side of the field, and Derek Hausler, this receiver toward the top of the screen, is going to try to carry all the defenders into the middle of the field. And what are you doing here, Lane? What is this route? What's it called?
A wheel route.
You bet.
Or seam.
Yep. And Derek's trying to pull everybody in the middle of the field. You're trying to outrun the linebacker. What are you thinking right here? You thinking you got a shot here?
Yeah, I'm thinking where if that linebacker stays on me, it's going to bend, or if he pulls off me, it's coming to me. So,
well, you can see you got to step on him. He comes off of Ben. We make the throw. The Brennan linebacker's got a great play. Now, what are you thinking about right here?
Better catch this thing and get it in the end zone.
Hope he's not quite as tall as the ball, and he's not. You got it right there on the 33-yard line. Now you got a little work to do. Turn and run. Big play. Their 40-game win streak is over, and we got a big early season win. Now let's take another look at it from another angle. Josh Atkins is our quarterback. There's Lane getting screamed at by Coach Hill. Get your butt on this other side where you belong. That's B fault. We've verified that. All right, Josh, thanks for being with us here. What are you doing here? What's this play starting?
Yes, sir. We're faking the stretch play that we've ran quite a bit, and we're trying to get them to leak out the backside. So faking there and trying to get the defense to bite. And then I'm going to fake a play action, look at Derek, and try to get the defense to revert backwards, which they are. And then Lane comes open out the back.
Yeah, but now what's happening here?
Yeah, there's a little bit of pressure there. You know, you got to be used to that playing quarterback. And, you know, I just kept my eyes on Lane downfield and let the ball rip. And if I get hit, I get hit. That's football.
You bet. There's the ball. There's the defender. Here we go. Whoop, let's back it up. You know, can we get enough lift on it to get it over their linebacker? Let's take a look. There's the pressure. There's
Just
the high
enough.
point. Lane, you got it.
Too close for comfort.
You betcha. Just enough. You got it.
Sir.
Let's go. You'll be talking about this one till you're about 90 years old. Now, when you get 90 years old, this will be about an 85-yard touchdown catch. And, yeah, it'll get more spectacular as the years go. But big play, memorable play, big win, Ranger football. So 2015 Ranger.
And welcome back to Ranger Stadium. At the half, Smithson Valley on top of South San 31-0. It is homecoming 2020, and with that, there are halftime homecoming festivities. So we now send you to the field and let you enjoy homecoming 2020 as they crown the king and queen here at Ranger Stadium.
And now it's time to present our 2020 Smithson Valley Ranger Homecoming Court. The freshman class is represented by the following: Duke Rowan Hamilton. Rowan is escorted this evening by his parents, Bill Hamilton and Shawnee Hamilton. Duchess Gabriela Botello. Gabriela is escorted this evening by her parents, Chase and Katie Brand.
Go to my side and pick up the right.
Duke David Huntsman. David's escorts tonight are his parents, Jeremy and Rochelle Huntsman. Duchess Emma Howell. Emma is being escorted by her parents, Kevin and Nikki Howell. Duke Barrett Lopez. Barrett's escorts are his parents, Adam and Amy Lopez, as well as his brother, Corbin Lopez. Duchess Kaden Morris. Kaden is escorted this evening by her parents, Scott Morris and Darla Dochikov. Duke Ryland Walker. Ryland is escorted tonight by his parents, Bo and Kelly Walker. Duchess Jimena Ortega. Jimena's escorts are her parents, Xavier Ortega and Nancy Benavides. The sophomore class is represented this evening by Duchess Avery Eckert. Avery is being escorted this evening by her parents, Brian and Christina Eckert.
Get over here. Come on, boy. What are you doing?
Duke Abudi Awad. Abudi's escort is his mother, Rasha Youssef. Duchess Emma Johnson. Emma is escorted this evening by her parents, John and Stephanie Johnson. Duke Ethan Gonzalez. Ethan is being escorted by his parents, Mike and Patty Gonzalez.
Don't you worry, I'll be back. I'll be back. Don't you run.
Duchess Kimberly Lee. Kimberly is escorted this evening by her father, Vivin Lee. Duke Colton Thomason. Colton is a member of our Ranger football team and is represented on the field this evening by his parents, Jason and Ashley Thomason. Duchess Riley Marty. Riley is escorted this evening by her parents, Sid and Donna Marty. Duke Gavin Woods. Gavin is another Ranger football player and is represented on the field by his parents, Heath and Denise Woods. Our junior class is represented by the following. Duchess Reeve Bonzer. Reeve is escorted this evening by her parents, Brendan and Gretchen Bonzer. Duke Reed Fulton. Reed's escorts this evening are his parents, James and Audrey Fulton. Duchess Catherine Ligeralde. Catherine is escorted tonight by her parents, Aji and Sona Ligeralde. Duke Christopher Kuhn Sosa. Christopher is escorted this evening by his mother, Alejandrina Kuhn. Duchess Michaela Lively. Michaela's escorts tonight are her parents, Wade and Cindy Lively. Duke Ian Martin. Ian is escorted this evening by his parents, Jeremy and Catherine Martin. And now for the Smithson Valley High School senior class, the class of 2021, which is represented on the field tonight by the following students. Duke Trevor Doyle. Trevor is escorted this evening by his parents, Michael Doyle and Carsey Doyle. Duchess Lorna Luciano. Lorna's escorts tonight are her parents, Carlos and Marla Luciano. Duke Eric Holbrook. Eric is escorted this evening by his parents, Blaine Holbrook and Catherine Holbrook. Duchess Zoe Madigan. Zoe is escorted this evening by her parents, Candace Mitchell and Roy Madigan. Duke Tristan Ortiz. Tristan's escorts tonight are his parents, Paul and Cindy Ortiz. Duchess Reese McKee. Reese is escorted by her mother, Natalie McKee. Duke Toby West. Toby is in the field house because he is also a Ranger football player. He is represented by his parents, Kelby and Sarah Yower. And Duchess Lindsay Pattison. Lindsay is escorted tonight by her parents, John and Lisa Pattison. After selecting the initial court, each class voted to bestow additional honors on a select few individuals. And now for the crowning of Smithson Valley's 2020 Homecoming Court Princess and Princesses and our King and Queen. For Prince and Princess of the freshman class, the winners are Prince Ryland Walker and Princess Gabriela Botello. For Prince and Princess of the sophomore class, the winners are Prince Ethan Gonzalez and Princess Emma Johnson. Our Prince and Princess of the junior class are Prince Reed Fulton and Princess Reedy Bonzer. And our Prince and Princess of the senior class, Prince Toby West and Princess Zoe Madigan. And finally, Smithson Valley's 2020 Homecoming King and Queen, chosen by their peers to represent them, are King Tristan Ortiz and Queen Reese McKee. We would like to thank our principal, Mr. Michael Wall, the Smithson Valley Student Council, and the JROTC for dedicating their time and energy to help with our ceremony this year. We wish everyone a safe drive home after the game and hope that you and your family are able to stay healthy during this pandemic. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you. This concludes the 2020 Smithson Valley High School homecoming ceremony.
Tonight's broadcast on Rangers Network is brought to you by GVTC, Ferris Orthodontics, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Fisher's Market, Sage Capital Bank, HEB, Summerhill Dental, Dermatology San Antonio, and Wick Productions.
Hi, I'm Kelly Irwin. Sage Capital Bank is proud to partner with Comel ISD in supporting our community, families, and students. Go Rangers!
A whole lot of things have changed over the past few months, but some things have stayed just the same. Here at Smithson Valley, we are still making your kids smile. You may not see that as easily with those masks on, but those smiles are just beneath. And when all this passes, and it will, you'll really be reminded of how we just keep making them smile. Thank you for your trust and support, and get your guns up.
Hi, I'm Donna. I'm so excited to welcome Dermatology San Antonio to Smithson Valley.
I think we made a great decision.
You know, you have a beautiful office, but I brought a few things that I think you're really going to like. Principal Wall, are you here to welcome Dermatology San Antonio to Smithson Valley as well?
No, I'm here for my 3 o'clock Diamond Glow facial.
Principal Wall.
Homecoming halftime festivities just wrapped up. We are about ready to start the third quarter here from Ranger Stadium. First half, as again the score would indicate, dominated by Smithson Valley on top 31-0. Should note, by the way, the homecoming king in 2020 is Tristan Ortiz, and the queen, Reese McKee. Always fun to see the homecoming king and queen crowned every year.
Absolutely. It's the spirit of the event, and it's always great to come back to homecoming. Good to see so many old familiar faces here in the crowd.
Trey Moore, this Ranger defense looked so good in the first half. Moore himself had a forced fumble. Smithson Valley's defense forcing 4 turnovers in the first half. Second half is underway. Bobcats trying to build some momentum and spark something on offense. And they fumbled it again on the sidelines, but the ball goes out of bounds. And the Bobcats there catch a break.
Yeah, luckily for John Garcia here, who's making the return, he does fumble this out of bounds. Maybe one of the drills for future weeks is hang on to the football.
Against South San, 6 possessions in the first half, 4 turnovers, a 3 and out, and then the clock expired in the first half to end their 6th possession. So Brennan Riojas, the quarterback, trying to get something going here in half 2. Tough first half for Riojas, was 2 of 6 passing with the 3 picks. Starts the second half from his own 20. And the first play for the Bobcats is a sweep to Garcia. Got cut down at the line. First hit courtesy of Blake Bowman. Had one of those 3 picks for the Rangers in the first half. Smithson Valley, some equal opportunity in the first 2 quarters. 3 different players had picks, and 3 different players that often scored touchdowns.
Yeah, Bowman slowed him down that time. The wide receiver, that being Garcia, slowed him down. Trey Moore come over to make sure he stayed down. No gain on the play.
Second and long for the Bobcats, a territory in which they lived in quite a bit in the first half. Staying behind the chains, Riojas pressured, and down he goes. Luke Simonaro, third-year varsity player, the sack for the Rangers. Third down and a mile coming up for the Bobcats.
Penalty markers on the field, but you know what? Yeah, Moore's getting all the spotlight. Seminaro says that, listen, I can do this as well. Give that quarterback some pressure. See what the call is.
Unsportsmanlike is called against the Bobcats. South San was flagged 5 times in the first half. That their 6th penalty of the game. And what was third down and long has become third down and forever here for South San. They have to reach their own 30 to convert, and they're stuck in their own 5. New quarterback in for the Bobcats. Able to get a completion across the 5 to the 6. And that's it on the completion to Matthew Gonzalez. The ball thrown by Jonathan Belos. The 4th down comes up for South San.
Belos, senior quarterback, second on the depth chart behind Brandon Riojas. I didn't know if he had been injured or if they're just trying to shake things up, maybe with a new look at the quarterback position. We'll see what happens on their next series of downs.
We'll see how things, play out moving forward as the punter, Jason Juarez, in here for the Bobcats, counting teammates, and flags fly before the snap. There may have been too many. There was, so Juarez's math wasn't off. Illegal substitution there for the Bobcats. And already a tough start here to the third quarter for South San after a really difficult first half.
Wow.
Two returnmen back deep for the Rangers, Bowman and Flores. Flores at a big punt return back in the second quarter. Juarez 9.5 yards deep in the end zone. Gets it away. Bowman, the return man. Off the turf, picks it up. And then got cut down. Lopez, a good tackle at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, Bowman was just trying to get around him to pick up positive yardage, but running backwards, the pursuit that time by Richard Lopez.
So here comes the Ranger offense. Smithson Valley looked very good in the first half. Jalen Nutt, at quarterback for Smithson Valley, had a touchdown run, threw 12 passes in the first half, 8 completions for 89 yards. If the game continues on this trajectory, you wonder how much longer Nutt will be for this game. The Rangers tailoring the offense to his strengths over the offseason. Coach Hill saying before the year had to shake off some rust as he's not played the position since 9th grade. But a good leader.
And we've got a new quarterback in the game right now.
And we do. So that question answered here early. Derek Mata, and a quarterback for the Rangers. His first snap of 2020 results in a handoff to McCracken. As Smithson Valley was whistled for a flag on the punt return, a personal foul penalty, and a timeout taken by the officials. The Ranger players down.
Gavin Woods coming over to put the hit on McCracken after a gain out to the South San 45-yard line. We may have an injured player. I do believe that's the situation.
Yeah, right now Ranger down to the turf with 9:46 to go here in the third. Smithson Valley on top 31-0. The Ranger training staff is out on the field as well. So we will step aside for the injury stoppage. Smithson Valley on top of South San 31-0 on the Rangers Network.
Tonight's broadcast on Rangers Network is brought to you by GVTC, Ferris Orthodontics, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Fisher's Market, Sage Capital Bank, HEB, Summerhill Dental, Dermatology.
Quick injury stoppage. Nick Freeman was the one that went down for the Rangers, the backup center. As we get back to action here, McCracken on the carry as Lopez has a tackle short of the 40, brings up third down and short here for Smithson Valley. So the Rangers have pulled the cord on Jalen Nutt at quarterback as you see Freeman trying to shake it off on the sidelines. A number of backups into the game now for the Rangers. Freeman was among them, playing at center. Rich Stoll back in at center, the starting man for the Rangers on the offensive line. Smithson Valley's first third quarter possession, and again the backup quarterback Derek Mata replacing Jalen Nutt. His pass here complete to McDonald, breaks a tackle. And McDonald's got the first down inside the 35-yard line. Zach McDonald the catch, his second tonight.
Good job by Zach that time to shake a tackle and pick up a couple of more important yards. As he got out of the grasp that time of Richard Lopez. You know, we've talked about Richard Lopez quite a bunch this evening. We called his name. And for all the troubles that the Bobcats have had, he may be one of the bright spots for the team this evening.
It seems as if he's in on every tackle for the Bobcats on defense. On first down, Mata to the air again, over the head of the intended receiver, Sinelik, who had a catch in the first half, but there was a flag down back of the 35-yard line.
Check this call. That's
illegal formation, decline. Will bring up second down and 10 for Smithson Valley. Rangers on the way to a 2-1 district record and a very difficult 27-6A. One of two games in the district tonight. Ypsilanti's currently playing at Wagner and Converse. Here's Avery, 2 rushing touchdowns in the first half for Smithson Valley, and takes it inside the 30 to bring up third down and medium.
I like to watch Avery run the football. You see him in trouble just getting out of harm's way. Shaking tackles, takes 3 South San Bobcats to bring him down. He's had a big night running the football thus far.
Yeah, a touchdown in the first quarter and another one in the second. 4 minutes gone by in the third and 5 for the Rangers, nursing his 31-0 lead. Here's Mata. Dumps it off. His receiver fell down. And was looking for Strachan. That'll bring up fourth down for Smithson Valley. If Coach Hill sends out Hoser for a field goal attempt, this would be from 45 yards out. It appears, though, he'll keep the offense on the field. And this is a big chance here for Derek Mata to learn this offense and prove something here to Coach Hill and the coaching staff. A junior who could be in line for a starting job this time next year.
Absolutely, reps, experience, no substitute for it.
4th and 5, Coach Hill says go for it. Mata off the play fake, taking his shot down the field. He's got a man, he's got a touchdown. To the tight end, Will Ford. A strike delivered by Derek Mata, his first career touchdown pass.
On a 4th and 5, he goes for it all and comes away with points.
A strike for Mata for the catch. And Smithson Valley on top, 37-0. And now Mata out there to hold for the point after. For Austin Hoser, who has made all 5 of his attempts here tonight. Or all of his first 4, I should say, now 5 for 5. 4 minutes gone by in the third. Rangers building upon their lead on top, 38-0 over South San on the Rangers Network.
Tonight's broadcast on Rangers Network is brought to you by GVTC, Ferris Orthodontics, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Fisher's Market, Sage Capital Bank, HEB, Summerhill Dental, Dermatology San Antonio, and Wick Productions.
And welcome back to Ranger Stadium. Smithson Valley is on top, 38-0. Will Ford, the touchdown catch for the Rangers.
Derek Mata, you know, for a young man that hasn't had that much time, playing time, what a job. I mean, what composure. He put the ball right where it needed to be. I wonder how many of the quarterbacks would have maybe gotten a little bit nervous to see a receiver so all alone.
Came in 4th down, as Roland said, 28-yard strike. Mata to Will Ford, the touchdown catch. On Smithson Valley's opening third quarter possession, there's Will Ford celebrating with his teammates on the sidelines. Coach Hill ideally would like the tight ends to be a big part of this Ranger offense. And again, Mata hooked up with them on 4th down for the touchdown. Ensuing kickoff fielded at the goal line. And the return man, Rod Hell, short of the 15. With all three phases, Smithson Valley's been so good tonight, including special teams.
Absolutely. This play you can notice. Good job in slowing the return man down. I believe that was Chase Senelek coming over to slow him down and let his other special team teammates come over and make the stop on the return man.
We discussed the district, and again, New Braunfels at Wagner tonight, 2 games tomorrow. Judson is at East Central, and Clemens taking on Steele. Inter-city rivalry there between the Knights and the Buffaloes. And at quarterback, Jonathan Veloz is back out there for South San as the Bobcats call for a timeout. We wondered whether or not Riojas got hurt on the sack from Seminaro on the last possession for the Bobcats. Veloz came in to replace Riojas for one play, but back out there quarterback, so perhaps the reins of the offense belong to Veloz moving forward. And again, Coach Barone is trying to figure out what his team is made of. Riojas started a lot a year ago, so the Bobcats, even with the new staff, knew what they had at quarterback in Riojas, but now it's time for them to find out what they have in Veloz.
Exactly, and you're talking about the first game. Who's going to give us the better chance to win? Is it going to be Riojas? Is it going to be Veloz? Who's going to be the stronger field general out there for our squad? And it's going to give them a chance. Academic score right now at this point, so this gives you a chance to look at your other players on the bench and see who you may be able to go to.
Veloz on 1st down, hands off to Padilla. Got tracked down by Toby West. And that's going to bring up 2nd down for the Bobcats after a good 1st down play. Gain of 8 there for Desmond Padilla.
You were mentioning district scores in this evening. Going into the locker room, it's New Braunfels on top of Wagner, 14-7.
Again tonight, the season opener for the Bobcats. Waiting until week 6 to play. This is the first week they've been cleared to play, as a false start will be the call here. Good for the Bobcats, 8th penalty of the game.
Looks like movement on the right guard that time is going to back this up.
While the Bobcats are playing for the first time, they do have a record. It's 0-1. They were forced to forfeit the game last week against Judson. Snap got away from Veloz, picks it up, and tracked down by Gavin Woods, a sophomore defender for the Rangers, will bring up 3rd down for South San.
Well, good heads-up play that time by Gavin Woods, coming in, putting the hit on Veloz. Calling it a 3rd and 4, giving Veloz a pickup of 6.
A triple option offense the past 4 seasons under Coach Ron Kurtz, as the 1st down is picked up here by Padilla across the 30-yard line. Good for a gain of 12 yards there on 3rd down. But we're not seeing triple option tonight, so these players are also learning a brand new offense. We should keep that in mind for South San as the Bobcats have struggled to move the football this evening.
Exactly. And you've got to take your hat off to Padilla, because he's been tough running that football this evening. We talked about Lopez being a bright spot. Padilla also another bright spot for South San.
Here's Padilla again, this time stacked up for no gain on his 9th carry of the night. Again, the first-year head coach, Phil Barone, for Burbank, or for South San, leaving Burbank, and he said leaving the job was really hard on him, even though South San was a job he always had his eye on. 10 seconds into a Zoom call with his kids from Burbank, telling them that he was leaving to take over at South San, he broke down into tears. Said he poured his heart and soul into coaching that program, and Burbank will always be a special place to him. 2 very successful seasons as the head coach at Burbank, as the Bobcats are called for another false start. 12-9 his record across those 2 seasons. Was an assistant on that staff before taking over as the head coach, and again turned that program around. Can he do the same for a South San team which has not been in the postseason since 2007? Here's Padilla on 2nd and long. Got some of the penalty yardage back. Will bring up 3rd down and about 10 to go after a gain of 6.
David Hoyos from his safety position over to make the stop.
The last time the Bobcats made the playoffs, Coach Burrell was only 5 years removed as a player at South San, a graduate back in 2002. He grew up going to Bobcat games as a kid, and again called this a dream job. A big source of inspiration for him was John Torres, the late John Torres, who was Coach Burrell's offensive coordinator when he played and later became South San's head man. Downfield pass for Lopez, almost hauled in. Bafidas the coverage, they'll get him on the flag.
Yeah, Lopez was wanting a flag on that.
He'll get it. And Braden Bafidas with contact as the ball arrives, so Lopez got the call there. This should extend the drive here for South San. Illegal contact to call. Automatic first down here for South San. 4th penalty against Smithson Valley tonight.
Yeah, Rangers have played, with the exception of a couple, just a basic error-free game. Only 4 penalties to this point. And granted, there's still plenty of game left to go.
First and 10, 49 for Bobcats.
Inside of 5 minutes to go in the 3rd, Rangers comfortably ahead 38-0. Here's the pressure, and Veloz taken down. Ball comes out, and the Rangers recover. It is the 5th turnover that Smithson Valley has forced tonight. The ball picked up by Colton Shepler.
Shepler with a fumble recovery.
Officials meet. And there was a question whether or not he was down. They confirmed the call on the field. Fumble recovered by Shepler. A 5-turnover night for the Rangers defense after forcing 3 last week. You're talking more about the South San program. There was a good stretch from 01 to 07 for the Bobcats in which they made the playoffs 5 times in a 7-season span, but have not been back since then. Here's Mata on first off the play fake and throws a dart complete to Freeland. Tight ropes the sideline and takes it out of bounds out around the 30 on a good 16-yard play. So not a bad start for Derek Mata, quarterback, 2 for 2 passing, 44 yards and a touchdown.
Jonathan Camacho back for South San, ran Freeland out of bounds.
And there's Shepler who recovered the fumble for Smithson Valley moments ago. So the Rangers, again, have forced 5 turnovers, courtesy of 5 different players. Moore, a fumble recovery, Shepler the other. Interceptions from Bowman, Flores, and Montalvo. On first down, McCracken got tackled by Lopez again. We talked about this. A bright spot for South San tonight has been Lopez making tackles all over the field.
And the running backs, both of them for Smithson Valley, having a good game. McCracken, I mean, we can't take anything away from him as he's had a good night running the football.
That's 6 carries now from McCracken for 52 yards. One of those carries good for a touchdown. Inside of 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, Rangers on their way to their 2nd consecutive win. And their 3rd straight win at home dating back to last year. On 2nd and short, McCracken again fights his way for first down yardage inside the 20. Bobcats sling him down but the forward progress will move the chains at the 18-yard line.
Joseph Salinas and Lopez converge on McCracken for the stop.
Getting more into the history of South San football. Again, good stretch from 01 to 07, but since then, over the past 13 seasons, a record of 23-96, a 193 winning percentage for the Bobcats, and a district record of 8-64, never finishing better than 6th place. So there's some work to do for Coach Barone to get this program headed back in the right direction. Inside the red zone from Mata, and the offense whistles blow before the snap. And a delay of game called against Smithson Valley. Rangers flagged for the 5th time tonight. You think about coachable moments here for Coach Hill, getting a look at some 2s and 3s to include the backup Mata quarterback, and also penalties. Even in a likely Ranger win, wants to see that part of the game cleaned up.
Right, teachable moment right now for Coach Hill, and problems and mistakes you want to avoid later on in the schedule and into playoffs.
Makes it 1st and 15. Here's Mata on the keeper, got brought down. He'll lose some yardage. Good tackle in space made by Robert Barnes, a junior linebacker for the Bobcats. 2nd and long now for Smithson Valley.
A couple of tough yards that time from Mata. Or he may get back to the line of scrimmage. They're saying 2nd and 15. They may not have given him any forward progress.
Discuss the district schedule this week, looking back at last week. Wagner a rout of East Central 54-7. Thunderbirds are out to a 2-0 start in 27-6A play. Wins over the Rangers and Hornets. Steele the win over the Brothels. We talked about that wild finish. And again, Judson winning via forfeit over these Bobcats. On 2nd and long, a draw for McCracken. On the tackle, Donovan Gomez for the Bobcats. 3rd and long coming up for the Rangers inside of 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Smithson Valley led at the end of the half, 31-0. And Mata, 4th down touchdown pass, extending this lead at 38-0. Rangers on their way to a 4-1 start.
And you were mentioning district play and how things are kind of tough. I'll get back to that here momentarily right after this play.
3rd and 19. Mata facing some pressure on the rollout. Receiver open. It's the tight end again. This time Dylan DeMel. Well short of the 1st down, though. It's about 4th and 8. And Coach Hill will send out Austin Hoser this time.
Yeah, rough outing last week, as you were mentioning, for New Braunfels, and Wagner with a big win. Well, currently at halftime, New Braunfels up on Wagner, so any given night, you never can tell. The hand of fate may turn.
Hoser will attempt here from 45 yards out, or 35 yards, I beg your pardon, and knocks it through. 6 made field goal this season, and that was 1 yard shy of tying his season long for Austin Hoser. Smithson Valley on top, 41-0 as the 3rd quarter winds down on the Rangers Network.
Tonight's broadcast on Rangers Network is brought to you by GVTC, Ferris Orthodontics, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Fisher's Market, Sage Capital Bank, HEB, Summerhill Dental, Dermatology San Antonio, and Wick Productions.
Hi, I'm Kelly Irwin. Sage Capital Bank is proud to partner with Comel ISD in supporting our community, families, and students. Go Rangers!
When discussing playing it a short week, Coach Hill called it a little unnerving, priding himself on the preparation the Rangers put into each and every ball game and to have one less day to get ready on an opponent they knew little about, making the week of preparation extremely challenging. Was expecting the Rangers to make a lot of adjustments on the fly, and Well, if they've been doing a lot of those adjustments, again, just off the cuff, they've been doing a pretty good job of it. On top, 41-0 as we wind down the clock here in the third quarter. After a 35-yard field goal from Austin Hoser. Another special teams tackle made for the Rangers impressively. This time for the Rangers, it's Chase Barker, the tackle inside the 10.
All Rangers just hitting on all cylinders tonight. We've seen some great special teams play. That right there, just a perfect example of what we've seen 3 quarters from the Rangers special teams.
And a Bobcat player is slow to get up, and that was the return man, John Garcia. Helped up and taken to the sidelines here for South San. And again for the Bobcats, schedule not getting it easier. Next week on the road against Clemens, Steele after that, Wagner after that, New Braunfels after that. You find anybody a W on the schedule right now, Roland?
You can't do it because any given night, you just never know.
Jonathan Below stays in a quarterback for South San. The keeper able to escape some contact in the backfield as a flag comes in. This could come back at a hold.
May have a hold, yeah.
Against South San.
See Camden Egley with the stop. I was talking to one of the coaches last week. One of his relatives played over the summer in the Texas Collegiate League for the San Antonio entry in the Texas Collegiate League baseball team that we had here in San Antonio.
A lot of the minor league teams, so they all were shut down by Major League Baseball. And so many of the minor league franchises got those collegiate leagues started up to include San Antonio, also nearby Round Rock.
Awful lot of fun over the summer, though.
After the hold against the Bobcats, first out and long, and Padilla met by a group of Rangers out across the 10. Coach Hill in Smithson Valley on its way to win number 4 this season, and for Coach Hill, number 261, a man who was inducted into the THSCA Hall of Honor, served as a president of the THSCA for a couple of years not long ago. As there's a lineman down for the Bobcats on the field, Leandro Espinoza, out around the 11-yard line for the Bobcats. Or beg your pardon, Ruben Salazar is the one who's down.
It's a right tackle, yeah.
Yep. We talked about Coach Hill again on the sidelines for nearly 3 decades now for Smithson Valley. What a program he has built. Year 1, Smithson Valley was 1-9. In 1993, took over a program that has not enjoyed much success in the 3 decades prior, and has turned this Smithson Valley program into a powerhouse here in the greater San Antonio area. Maybe they haven't been the state finalist team that they were about 15 years ago, but every year the Rangers are a threat to win the district and always on the verge of making a playoff run.
That's right. They're always there, and you can tell if you're an opponent, you never want to face them because, you know, Smithson Valley just knows how to win. It's bred in their coaching staff and bred in the way they are coached.
Over the past decade alone, the Rangers a record of 85-21, including their 3-1 record so far this season. Flags fly before the next snap. Time for maybe one more snap here in the third quarter. And again, just trying to do some quick math here, making sure they're 11 and only 11 players on the field. How good's your math, Roland?
Excellent. I'm glad you're not buying that.
Not at all. Flag picked up. Somebody's math is wrong for a second there, and that will end the third quarter. 12 minutes left in this 27-6A matchup. Smithson Valley on its way to district win number 2. Fourth quarter coming up after this on the Rangers Network.
What's your Wi-Fi score? With the GVTC Wi-Fi Score Quiz, you can determine the Wi-Fi speed to suit your needs. Maybe you're a typic user who only has a few connected devices around the house. Take our quick Wi-Fi score quiz today at gvtc.com/Wi-Fi score and make sure your connection is up to speed.
The last time the Rangers and Bobcats met, none of the players on the field were alive. 2001, 19 years ago. Rangers swept the Bobcats in a non-district home-and-home in 2000 and in 2001, 20 years ago. Only time these two teams have ever played one another. First play of the fourth quarter is a run for loss for the quarterback, Jonathan Belos. Flag in after the play is over. This could be unsportsmanlike against Smithson Valley.
Check that. Looked like Van Pelt came over to make the hit, among others. We'll see what this penalty marker is all about.
A dead ball. And there it is. Personal foul against the Rangers will give the Bobcats a first down via a penalty. Now 60 yards and flags on the Rangers here tonight. Again, the story for Smithson Valley, it's kind of multiple choice right now. The offense has been efficient. The Rangers have racked up 4 rushing touchdowns, 1 through the air, courtesy of the backup quarterback, Derek Mata. And the defense has forced 5 turnovers. Gives them 13 on the season after forcing just 16 all of last year, only 6 the year before, back in 2018. As this play doesn't yield much for Padilla. Gain of maybe 2 there to bring up second down and 8.
Yeah, that time Padilla just trying to force his way straight ahead is coming over to make the stop. That was Caden Baumgartner.
Again, Coach Hill's Rangers will play again next Thursday against New Braunfels, a Unicorn team which is leading Wagner right now. A district unbeaten, should have been Steele last week. Awkward exchange here to Padilla and got dragged down by a gang of Rangers for a loss. Back at the 20, loss of 2 will bring up third down and 10.
Swarming Ranger defense that time is, you look at them collapsing on the running back.
That's Padilla, kind of a workhorse night for him. Now 12 carries, nobody else has more than 5 for South San. An offense which has struggled moving the ball all night long. South San with just 11 yards passing and just 63 on the ground. Here's a completion to Lopez across the 30. Good throw there from Velos. That'll move the chains for the Bobcats.
Yeah, Lopez playing on both sides of the football tonight. You got to wonder how tired that young man may be.
That was something you and I noticed when looking at the sheer number of players on the roster available for South San, paling in comparison to what the Rangers have available. This for a 6A program, you would think there would be more players on the roster, but some are playing both ways. Velos on the keeper. Good move in the backfield. Impressive 5-yard, make it 6-yard run there for Velos.
That time, Cale Williams once again over to make the stop.
Seeing a handful of 2s and 3s out there for Smithson Valley's defense. We saw starting quarterback Jalen Nutt warm up to start the third quarter. Coach Hill said, "You stay on the sidelines, Jalen." Gave the reins there to Derek Mata, so the offense putting backups into the game early here in the second half. On second down and 4, it's Padilla again on his 13th carry. Moves the chains for South San.
And that was Wyatt Hansen over to make the stop for Smithson Valley that time. Yeah, seeing Coach Hill use his bench right now. And as I was mentioning, nothing like experience. You never can tell when these young men are going to be called on to fill a role for one reason or another.
Brought up Smithson Valley playing New Braunfels next week. Again, that is a makeup of a game that was supposed to have taken place 2 weeks ago. But that game, the announcement of the postponement didn't come until the morning of. And so Smithson Valley had spent all week, as you would expect, preparing and practicing and getting ready for the Unicorns, watching film and all that. And as a result of the postponement, the Rangers really don't have a true bye week this season. And that's just kind of the way things are here in 2020.
The strangest year I can recall, and I've got a few years on you, Brent, I tell you.
You adjust and you adapt, and Smithson Valley, again, will play for 10 consecutive weeks, essentially. And yes, they didn't play a game that Friday, but it spent the entire week getting ready as if they were going to play one. So there really isn't a physical rest for Smithson Valley in terms of a week all year long. The next 4 weeks they have football games. New Braunfels next week, Judson, East Central, and then Steele to close things out. Padilla got dumped there by the Ranger defender, Tanner Donovan, on the tackle there for Smithson Valley.
Almost looked like a wrestling move there. Oh, yes.
Is that a fireman's carry?
It looked like it, yeah. Tanner Donovan there with the stop for Smithson Valley.
Junior safety backing up David DeHoyas. It's a young Ranger secondary. You look at the two deep. And Bowman and Flores are a couple of seniors, yes, but DeHoyas, a sophomore, Montalvo, a junior. Donovan just made the tackle, a junior for Smithson Valley. 3rd and 2. 5 minutes gone by the fourth, and Padilla buried at midfield.
Great defensive pursuit that time.
Saw Jordan Thompson leading the charge there for the Rangers defensively.
That's right, number 90, Jordan Thompson, with a big hit among others. And that time South San was in tight, trying to get something in the middle of that line, but nothing doing there.
Cale Williams to the left there of Thompson, also into the play. As Coach Barone says, let's go for it. 4th and 5 from midfield. With the Bobcats down 41-zip. Milos trying to make a play. And instead, the Rangers defense makes the play. Cole Douglas the tackle. And a turnover on downs forced by Smithson Valley's defense. So think about this here for a second, Roland. If the Rangers don't allow the Bobcats to score over the final 6:20, that means Smithson Valley's defense will have gone 7 consecutive quarters not allowing a single point.
That's impressive, and that's the defense we've looked at tonight. They're a very impressive defensive bunch. Just the whole squad, as we were talking about earlier, very good-looking offense. The defense has been stellar, and great job on special teams.
Before the next snap, whistles fly, or whistles are used to calling flags there. Whistles blow, staying in the officials' hands there, not flying anywhere.
I've seen whistles fly, though, Brandon.
Not in this case.
Not a pretty sight.
So, timeout taken by the Bobcats with 6 minutes and change left here in the fourth quarter. The Rangers defensively have been good all year long. Held a good Madison team to 7 points in week 2. Wagner scored 27, yes. That did come in overtime, and the Rangers were very good in the second half defensively. Held the Buffaloes to 7 points last week, and pitching a shutout here tonight. As a team, the Rangers giving up to 17 points a game here in 2020. Clemens last week held 123 yards on the ground to 75 through the air.
They've got their work cut out for them tomorrow night as they take on the Steel Knights.
Big rivalry there within the Shirt-Cibolo School District. Mata remains at a quarterback for the Rangers and takes a shot. Got sacked back at the 45-yard line. Good play from Robert Barnes for the Bobcats.
Yeah, coming over to make the hit. Just good defensive pursuit that time by Barnes.
You talk about Clemens and Steele, and Clemens, of course, has been around forever. Steele was a new high school back in 2005, and it dipped into Clemens' numbers. So Clemens was such a good program for so many years, winning district titles, making long playoff runs, and then they had to kind of rebuild. Steele took a lot of numbers and talent away from Clemens, and almost immediately the Knights became the powerhouse in the area. They went into deep playoff runs, won a state championship, but Clemens has now gotten back into that conversation. They did not lose a single district game last year. They've been playoff regulars. regulars contending for district championships and churning out some really good talent.
Always just a tough area to play football, right up there in the Shirt, Cibolo, Converse area.
There's so many good players that come out of both schools, Steele and Clemens. You look at UTSA starting quarterback right now, Frank Harris, a product of Clemens High School. Caden Stearns, who starts at Texas, came from Steele. Here's a completion to Demel. Short of the first down, though, and short of the 40, brings up fourth down for the Rangers offense.
Mel caught that and was shoved back. We'll notice here Mata completes it, but good defensive play that time, and I believe we called the young man's name once again, that being Richard Lopez with the hit.
Mata certainly has been favoring the tight end so far in this game. It is short time at quarterback, and the Rangers keep the offense on the field.
4th and 4 from the 42, and the Unicorns have opened up a bigger lead. It's 21-7 now. New Braunfels on top of Wagner. I'm showing 8:04 left to go in the third.
Here's a run on fourth down. Good job of the backfield by McCracken to break a tackle and keep the chains moving. So the Rangers again converted fourth down, a number of those tonight. And this drive continues for Smithson Valley.
You notice here it looked like McCracken was going to be stopped, but he just kept the forward momentum going just enough to pick up a first down. Rangers are in good shape now with little over 3.5 minutes left to go in tonight's ball game.
And discussing all the talent from Steele and Clemens, how about Malcolm Brown? I know a number of years now removed from Steele, was a part of that state championship team, went on to play at the University of Texas, great career for the Longhorns, and now in the NFL.
Absolutely. And there was a young man named Justin Stockton.
So again, there's just so much talent within that area. Smithson Valley, of course, has had a lot of talent itself, and they've still got representation in the NFL.
The NFL, yes, they do.
Andrew Sendejo still playing in the National Football League right now with the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, I remember Andrew Sendejo down here on this field.
Graduated from Smithson Valley in 2005. Only got one scholarship offer at Rice for David Bailiff. Graduated from Rice in 2009 and is now in his 12th season playing in the NFL. Has played for the Cowboys, the Jets, the Vikings, and now Cleveland.
Vikings was the last stop I remember him at. I didn't know he was with the Browns, though, now. That's good to know.
Final 2:25 for Coach Hill's Rangers here in this 2020 game against South San. On their way to their second win in a row. And win number 4 here of the season. Here's Avery, who's had a couple of touchdown runs. Helmet comes off, will stop the clock as he has to leave the field with the helmet flying off. 2:05 left. The New Braunfels is up next for Smithson Valley. After that, Judson. So a big 2-week stretch coming up here for the Rangers.
It's going to be interesting. And it is every year, every time the teams get together. And this year, no exception.
You know, getting into this conversation about all the great talent within these teams in 27-6A over the years. Judson, great running back of theirs, Sincere McCormick, as McCracken breaks a tackle inside the 20, inside the 10, to the pylon. Did he get it? He did. McCracken in for the touchdown, his second tonight, and the Rangers are pouring it on here at Ranger Stadium.
Hard running McCracken. Once again, hit twice, wouldn't go down. The stiff arm there and into the end zone for another 6.
So 2 touchdowns for McCracken, 2 for Justin Avery. And the Rangers a 47-point night here against South San. This after putting up 34 last week against Clemens. Point after from Hoser is up. It is good. Smithson Valley on top now, 48-0. Was talking about Sincere McCormick, great player at Judson, and has been a great player at UTSA. Again, named the Conference USA Offensive Player of the Week after a big effort, come from behind effort, in a win over La Tech this past weekend.
That was exciting. I had the opportunity to see that, of course, on the television, but oh yeah, great effort that the Roadrunners put on.
So the Rangers on their way to a 4-1 start, while the Bobcats will drop to 0-2. While this is their season opener of sorts, technically it's not. They had to forfeit their first game last week as they were not cleared yet to play against Judson. So many moving parts here in this high school football season in 2020. 5A and 6A teams couldn't even play until September the 25th, as mandated by the UIL.
Right. One thing I find interesting is the lower classification schools right now wrapping up their regular season.
Yeah.
And playoffs are just around the corner for them. Now, the regular season's not going to wrap up for many of these schools till early December.
Give you a great example. Some 4A programs and lower are playing their regular season finales tomorrow, this week.
What a year. Just staggering the schedule.
So after the McCracken touchdown, Rangers out to kick it away. Bobcats looking to maybe build some semblance of momentum over the final 92 seconds going into their game next week against Clemens. Rangers over the past 7 quarters outscoring the opposition 76-0, dating back to last week, as the Bobcats take over short of the 20-yard line.
Keen Rangel with a return for South San. That'll bring the Bobcat offense on the field. As a matter of fact, just checking that New Braunfels Wagner score, the Thunderbirds get on the board once again with 6:21 left to go in the third. It's now 21-13 New Braunfels.
And with that triple option offense for Wagner, the Thunderbirds can be so difficult to stop. Maybe they don't have the talent player to player against the likes of a Judson or a Steele or Smithson Valley, but they do have some pretty impressive looking players offensively and defensively. They may lack the depth, but with the front end talent they have on top of that triple option offense, Wagner is going to be a very tough out throughout the remainder of 27 6A play.
Absolutely, and anything can happen. It's pretty wide open. You expect the players that are normally there to be there, but an upset I bet you an upset will probably come along somewhere that we're not looking at.
Final minute now of the fourth quarter and of the game. Padilla the carry short of the 30-yard line. Saw Coach Hill pacing the sidelines for the Rangers. He is seconds away from career win number 261. Do you think he hangs around long enough to get to 300?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. How could you leave something like this? I mean, I couldn't understand that. You know, something you have such a passion for, such a life your life is driven for, and to think you can walk away from it, you can never walk away from it. It's in your blood. So absolutely, I see him stick around for number 300.
Unsportsmanlike conduct to call here. 15 yards against the Rangers. And for Smithson Valley, that is their 8th penalty tonight. Got into discussion last week during a telecast about high school football greats here in the greater San Antonio area. Do want to recognize the passing of Sonny Detmer.
Absolutely.
Just how much he meant to the game here in this area. The Detmer family, called the first family of Texas high school football. Of course, his sons Ty and Coy played underneath him, and then later great college and NFL careers. Sonny Detmer coaching his sons and his grandsons. In fact, his grandson Cole Detmer, still the starting quarterback at Somerset, and Sonny was still coaching the Bulldogs into this season, and then passed away due to complications from pneumonia and bronchitis at the age of 77. We pass our condolences out to the Detmer and Somerset family. As the final seconds tick away, and the Rangers have won 2 straight. Dominant tonight over South San to the tune of a 48-0 victory. The Rangers out to a 4-1 start here in 2020. And again, Roland Smithson Valley in all 3 phases, the superior team here this evening.
Absolutely. They came to play, concentrated, did a great job out there on the field, despite the fact that there was no game film on South San. They had made the adjustments, stuck to their game plan, and we look forward to seeing what they're going to do next week against New Braunfels.
No handshakes, but the players will settle for some post-game fist bumps on the Rangers field here as Smithson Valley wins it 48-0. And that's going to wrap up our coverage of Thursday night 27-6A football. On behalf of our entire Rangers Network crew and my partner, Roland Ruiz, I'm Brant Freeman saying good night from Spring Branch, where the Rangers dominate over the Bobcats here at Ranger Stadium.
Parents and fans, thank you for attending tonight's game. We're asking that all spectators please make their way toward their designated exit with your masks on.
Tonight's broadcast on Rangers Network is brought to you by GVTC, Ferris Orthodontics, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Fisher's Market, Sage Capital Bank, HEB, Summerhill Dental, Dermatology San Antonio, and Wick Productions.